Okay, I'm going to start to share my screen, and then we'll see what we can find. It should be pretty interesting. There it is. And share. So let's get down to this. Okay. I don't know what that is. So here we have a full screen with our promotion. Let me just say, this is going to be under 20 minutes long. We're going to talk about what this degree is all about. We're going to talk about the careers that it leads to. We're going to talk at the end about how to apply and how to be accepted in this program. And we're going to have some time for questions. During this program, if you have a question, please click on chat and enter a chat question. I'll try to catch them on the fly, but I want you to know this is important to you and to me to get a grasp of how you can take this program and follow a career in accounting. With that, here's a short description of what we're talking about. It's a bachelor's degree in international accounting. Now, it's called Accounting with International Accounting because it has to be distinct from just an accounting degree. It prepares graduates for an accounting career, period. It doesn't have to be international. It goes for people who just want to stay in the United States or wherever they are and follow a career in accounting. It has the advantage of having the collection of courses that will and are required for applying for your CPA exam, and so it integrates toward that. The other thing to consider is that it's completely online, so that majority of our students are already having jobs in accounting and they're able to squeeze them in. And the other thing that's interesting is that this is a structured academic sequence. It means that these courses are intended to build upon each other as we grow toward complete competence in this field. It's offered at North Seattle College, but it's, as I say, delivered completely online. And the entry requirements are interesting. Junior status, that implies that you've completed your associate degree and you've taken these 3 classes in accounting. I think you could do that, and you should do that during your associate's degree. The other class you have to have is a business statistics class. There's also another class, English composition, that's required. I should have put that in here, but you'll see it later on. The idea here is that you have an associate's degree and you're interested in accounting. Now, I have a few slides about that. Let's talk about that. We wanted to start with a bit of a joke, but I found this on the internet. I think it's cute. Congress simplified the tax code, and you see them overwhelmed with paper. I interpret that in that accountants are required to stay on top of all changes. Things are changing all the time in accounting. There's another joke, if you will. Accountant is someone who solves a problem that you didn't know you had in a way you don't understand. So many times accountants are involved in aiding industry, talking to their clients and explaining what the alternatives are and solving problems that they don't understand and in a way that they don't understand. So it's also, it may be a joke, but it's also true. Here's something you'll hear about. I had this headline, compelling reasons to become an accountant. Well, your grandma would say everybody needs an accountant. Your grandpa would say, well, you'll always have a job, and your dad says you'll make a lot of money. But your Aunt Ida will say, well, you'll always be able to be in an industry that you like. But your mom will say, just do something that brings you joy. And the reality is, I thank you for that, all those other things are true. You will, everybody needs an accountant, you'll always have a job, you make a lot of money, and there are many industries, and you could pick the industry you like. That's one of the beauties of having an accounting degree. But your mom is right. You must feel the joy of being an accountant. Accounting is a unique career, and those who really like it, they like certain aspects of it. They like the fact that when they work hard, they will find an answer, and the answer will be the right answer. It could be easily checked and easily validated. They like the fact that they have to be on time. Here are some of the other things. They get a pride of meeting their deadlines. My iPad thing is too sensitive. They keep and present accurate data in a timely manner. They impact every important decision. When managers are trying to decide anything, the first thing they need is the data from the accounting people. They're there to provide the right answer, and there's a joy of knowing that everyone relies on you. And they rely on you to do the right thing. Now, I say that because one of the elements we teach in virtually every accounting course is ethics. In the real world, we've been in the real world a lot, we know that if left alone, executives will try everything they can to compete and all this. They look to the accountant to be their balancer, their advisor, the one who says, no, that is not the thing to do. Don't do such and such. And you'll see constant flow of headlines about financial issues that have gone awry, and it's the accountant's job to make sure his team, her team, stays in line. Okay, in the BAS degree, let me slide this over so I can see it. There you go. Advanced Accounting Guidelines and Skills. That's what we're talking about in this collection of courses. You're completing the academic requirements for your CPA exam, but you don't have to become a CPA, but you're empowered with that alternative. This program is focused on international accounting because this is a growing focus of skills, and it's important for the businesses in this region generally. We are learning more and more every year about the differences between America's accounting, United States accounting, and everywhere else, and there's a constant dialogue about where this is all going to head. But the key thing that we learn is that students elevate their accounting competencies toward a successful career. Okay. There you go. The education pathway. After you complete an associate's degree, this is a 2-year program with a fall start. It starts in the fall. There are 2 courses per quarter because we expect that students will have a job. It takes 3 terms per year, and it's a 2-year program. So there are essentially 6 quarters. These courses are sequenced to build growth. And I just missed the last button here. And one of the beauties of this, I'm sorry, am we going backwards? There is a coordinated internship program. Part of the program we're have developed, is to make sure that every student is placed in an internship in accounting. So it's a hands-on experience before you graduate. So the 3 things to consider is the students enjoy this because it's flexible. They can earn while they're working. And we'll talk a little bit about 2 courses per quarter, yet some of the courses are repeated at other times. If you fall behind, there's a catch-up process, so you can always stay on track. There's consistency, which is great. Because we start in the fall, we have what we call a cohort. All our students are recruited to start one fall. Every fall, we start with a collection, a cohort of people just like you who are starting all at the same time. And that builds a family of people that you will work with and learn with and get to know and grow with. The group starts together each fall. We're also very proud of the fact that we're supported by a personal academic advisory service. That is to say, part of the AIA BAS degree program includes a person who's dedicated to each student and their progress. So if you have any issues, there's someone there to help you through your progress. Now, careers in accounting are very important. They vary in shape and timing, but consider the fact that if you're in accounting, whatever you're doing in accounting is going to lead to growing responsible positions within the company. And there are two popular pathways. The first is corporate accounting, that is finding a job in a company, and the other is public accounting, finding a job within a public accounting firm, which is the accounting firms that provide accounting services for corporations. As we saw earlier, there's also the path in governmental accounting. Yes, you can find a job at King County, you can find a job at Metro, you can find a job in the city of Seattle in accounting and have a full life career in accounting in a government agency. I wanted to say something as we're just here. We have an accounting fair and every spring, and we've had it many times. And I was touched by the fact that at the accounting fair were two young men who were recruiting our students for jobs. And where were they affiliated? They were accountants at Alaska Airlines. They are in the corporate accounting world, and they're looking for corporate people to take jobs in corporate accounting. So there are a slew of companies around Seattle and in the region who need accountants and represent a respect for our students. Here's a couple of jobs that you can start with in corporate accounting. Payroll, accounts payable, accounts receivable, just financial reporting, just generating these detailed reports. There's a growing interest in data processing and data analytics, which is a powerfully growing field because of the speed and capacity of computers. And also, your job could be providing data for other managers to make a decision. You might be in a planning cycle for capital improvements, and also just coordinating financing support. For example, coordinating public offerings, coordinating bonds, and so forth. Public accounting, the career track there leads toward a partnership. That is to say, you're in the accounting firm and eventually you do all these things and you qualify for a partnership. Now, I'm going to add this because it's important to know that when you are in a CPA firm, your focus is to do whatever you're, quote, told to do because you're working for the client. The other side of it, though, is that a multitude of the career paths start in a public accounting firm. They get the experience, they pass the CPA, and their intention is to not stay with the public accounting firm, but to find a career path in one of their clients or an industry that they're already part of. So, for example, if you're in a CPA firm and they have a software client and you're growing with the CPA firm and the software company, eventually the software company is going to grow and say, we need a CFO and we like what you did at the CPA firm, and you could switch over. Okay, so in the CPA firms, in this accounting, public accounting track, you're always going to start with auditing, and there might be some client coordination where you're helping their staff. There are specialties within there, taxation, not-for-profit support. I talked about this earlier, data analytics, and then there's fraud exploration or forensic accounting. Those are new words to all of us, I know, but you can see that there's a variety of paths. Here are some of the ways to consider the jobs. This is interesting. I found on the internet. Accounting jobs in Seattle are 12% higher than the nation. The nation is 64 and Seattle is 72,000. That's interesting to learn. And this is for people that are involved and full-time in accounting. Salaries in Seattle for the accounting jobs, average base pay is 61,000. You see here a lot of people start in the at 45 or higher in the 50s and 55. And also in international accounting, the salaries in Seattle are a little higher, and that is because international accountants have a, quote, global view, a seasoned experience, and they're extremely important. By the way, believe it or not, one of the advisors on, believe it or not, I was shocked to learn, I should say, that one of the advisors on the advisory board is a CFO of a company in the Montlake area, of all places, not Montlake, Montlake Terrace, and she has 400 stores all over the world, and she is actively bringing all her accountants that handle international accounting from the EU and from Australia and so forth to Seattle because she wants to have them all in Seattle, and she has jobs available. So this is a quote I found. The average salary for someone with a CPA designation in Seattle is between 77,000 and 500,000. You can imagine the spread. Okay. Now, how do you become a student? The enrollment requirements are associate degree or 75 or more credits up to the 300, 400 level. Not all the courses, but majority of the courses in this program are 300, 400 courses. You will have to have all the accounting principal courses that are at the 200 level. Also at the associate level, you'll need business law and statistics. This is an adjustment to the earlier slide, and English composition. If you have any questions, we have a program manager who is responsible. He's actually responsible for all the BAS degrees, and his name is Jesse Cooley, and you should address your questions directly to him, jesse.cooley, Colley, at seattlecolleges.edu. Now, I have another slide here. I wanted you to see what the program actually is. And here you see it starts in the fall with ethics and a library class, how to do research. Then it continues with intermediate accounting and data analytics, which is what I talked about earlier. You notice in the spring we continue with intermediate accounting, but this intermediate accounting 2, you have to have this one before you take the 2, and then we introduce international finance. We floated in here the internship, which can actually happen at any time. Then the next fall we have international accounting itself, then a course called cost accounting, which is really where companies that manufacture anything rely upon accountants to provide the data they need. Then we have a class in international taxation. Taxation is really part of becoming a CPA. You got to follow that. And accounting info system, information system, which is a powerful class that honors the fact that IT departments are usually integrated into accounting. And we end the program with these capstone classes of auditing and global business strategy. Okay, you're not showing your slide. You don't see my slides? People, are you seeing my slides?
No.
No.
No? Oh my gosh, all this time, and thank you for telling me so long that you can't see my slide. I can't believe it. I shared my screen. Oh man, that's a shame. Let me go back and share my slides. That is a losing proposition. Let's go over here. Let's see if this works. Can you see my slides now? Can you see a slide? Oh, I did that whole thing without slides? That's impossible. Excuse me. One more try. It happens all the time.
Professor, may I add?
Sure.
You were so good. No one expected the slides. It was well done.
Oh, but it's a blank screen. That's terrible. Can you see a slide now? Anybody? No.
Just your first slide.
You do have a slide at all? Some slide? No. You don't have this slide. Oh, man. I'm going to try it one more time. I don't understand because I do this for class all the time. Let me just see if it's here. No, that's not it. Maybe this. Can you see that? No. Well, there's a technical kibosh. Francisco, I'm going to send you a copy of my slide. We may have to do this over so you can record it. I'm embarrassed because I wasn't aware that. No slides, huh?
We see the slides. It just it's only the first slide. So when you're switching, it doesn't go to the next one.
Okay, that's good to know. Let's. Oh, I see. I see what happened. Does that switch?
It did.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to hurry right through this so you know what I was talking about. This is that initial screen that had the short description and the entry requirements. This was the joke that you didn't see. What happened? Congress simplified the tax code. This is the other line I told you. Here's the grandma says, grandpa says, and so on, which is ending with, but mom is right. You must feel the joy of being an accountant to really earn these rewards. And here's the pride of being an accountant. There's a certain pride of meeting your deadlines as a cycle in accounting, presenting accurate data and so forth. I talked about impacting important decisions, and you make important decisions as well, providing the right answer and knowing everyone relies on you. I told you about ethics. Here's the concept of the course. We didn't see this one. This is good. We have experienced instructors in the program. A lot of us have MBAs and have had long careers that involve accounting. A lot of us are CPAs that are dedicated to education. Now, this is important. At North Seattle College, we have educators whose job and whose joy is teaching. They're not here to write papers and so on. We're here to teach. We integrate real world examples. We serve on national committees to help shape what accounting will be. There is a link here to the video that explains our program. I talked about the educational pathway, these three elements of flexibility, consistency, and support. I talked about the careers in accounting. We talked about corporate accounting. We talked about public accounting, and here you see the slide. And I talked about salaries. This is the 12% higher than average in the nation. This is the 61,000 starting, but you see a lot of it is between 45 and 55. This is showing that international accountants, I think we are done. So, thank you for coming, and I'm sorry that you didn't get to see the slides. Please do this for me if you can. I don't know if we have time, but send in the chat, could you enter your email, and I'll send you these slides. And I'm sorry that nobody brought out that this was not showing. These were not showing. And thank you for eventually showing that. Let me go down one more. I don't think I can. I think it says it's time to leave. So let's see here.